the Florida Mountains, commonly known by the locals as the Rock. I get asked, why do I bow hunt? I bow hunt in order to see the first rays of sunlight on a crystal clear dawn. I bow hunt in order to find and satisfy my hunger for adventure that lies deep in my soul. And I most often find it not in the blood trails I follow or the inches of antler I hold in my hand, but rather in the country I hunt, the creatures I pursue, and the camaraderie of a campfire we share. There are times in our lives when it's revealed that we have unknowingly been prepared for one event, a single adventure that when looked back upon, it changes us in a way we could have never imagined. Some journeys harden our resolve, others soften our hearts, and a select few open our eyes to new horizons. But they all have one thing in common: we will never be the same. My greatest adventure, most often I find, is within me.
The first day here on the hunt, and it is open, the hunt's open, but we pulled in, we drove all night long. As you see, we got our gear scattered all over. Derek Harris just showed up. Derek is a friend of the family out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Our families all grew up together. This hunt's epic. And I use that word properly. I don't use epic very often. You get one time of life you can use the word epic truthfully. And I believe this in my hunting career is going to be the most epic hunt I've been on. We've looked over the maps. We've had our little powwow. We're going to finish putting stuff together and put our packs on, and we're going to go set our base camp.
My name is Kerry Harris, and I'm down here with my son Tyler. We're actually javelina hunting around these Florida mountains right now.
Well, Derek Harris is my brother. He's 21 years old, and I'm 15, and I've been hunting with him since I was about 8 or 9, and he got me on my first deer in 2010 when I was 10 years old.
I've hunted with Derek up here. That kid has seemed to be able to find his way into the middle of goats. The goats are just phenomenal to watch move. If you've never had the opportunity to watch them, it's something that has to be seen to be believed. Now, they'll go places that there's no way people can go. They'll cover that ground in no time at all. Just a phenomenal hunt to be on. It is by far and away the most difficult hunt I've ever been on. The battle with these goats is that they're afraid of anything and everything, including their own shadows. What looks like an easy hike from down here turns into a nightmare once you get started up on the mountain. I've seen some phenomenal animals. I have never worked so hard in my life to get to be within bow range or gun range, but it is something to see to be believed.
This hike's been pretty tough, and we're almost where we're going to set our base camp. But I'll be honest, this is not for somebody who's not in good shape, because it's dangerous. I mean, you're talking some serious damage if you fall.
Yeah, I think they're barbed too. Oh, son of a... Nothing like a little Florida mountain flavor. Cactus in the butt. Ah. Oh, that hurts so bad. They're all up in my business. Ah.
This is day one recap here. There's something about a fire that adds a sense of comfort. Tonight we got up here and we were a little late getting started, and it got dark on us, and then the crew that's going to be on the mountain with me for at least 4 or 5 days kind of setting up base camp. So in the next day or so we'll be digging in and then getting to know the mountain and looking at goats and trying to get on one. So we're here. We've been anticipating it for close to 8 months. I'm excited to get up in the morning and put some glass on some goats.
James Dean in a gray Porsche, John Wayne on a white horse, Elvis in blue suede, Marilyn and JFK. They had something that everybody wants. Everybody wants to live and never die. Everybody wants to be immortalized. Ooh, ooh. Everybody wants to outlive their lives. Everybody wants to be immortalized. Ooh, ooh. Life is a vapor, but legends are forever. Stars that won't burn out. We all want to go down as icons in someone else's eyes. Everybody wants to live and never die. Everybody wants to be immortalized. Ooh, ooh. Everybody wants to outlive their lives. Everybody wants to be immortalized. Ooh, ooh.
We climbed, I GPSed it at the truck was 4,000 and camp is at 6412, I think.
Last night we came in here and about another quarter mile up the road we parked the trucks and started our hike to get to base camp. I was kind of a Sherpa for the boys. Plan was to come back down to base camp and meet up with the rest of the guys, but I was stuck on the mountain last night. It's pretty treacherous, steep terrain, very rocky. Got a couple boo-boos to prove it on the way down this morning. Glad I didn't come down last night because could have been a lot worse. There's a lot of cliffs that just, you don't even see them till you're on them, and then you got to go around. So it took me about 2.5 hours to get off the mountain with just a pack on. So it's pretty treacherous terrain. We're down here spotting for the boys up on top and hope we can find some ibex in their vicinity.
Brian Reed here. Now, Brian, you are good friends with Sean Greathouse. I understand you guys go way back.
Way back, yeah. We used to compete against each other back in the early 90s. And we did a little hunt together, a little elk hunting.
That's how I met Brian. It's amazing. We're out here on the rock, the Florida mountains, and doing this really almost a hunt of a lifetime, and definitely one of the toughest hunts I've ever been on.
Oh, absolutely.
Brian Reed joined the camp last night, of course. It's time to get a little bit more dangerous. not on ourselves, but on the goats, of course, a little more aggressive, and see if we can't put an arrow in one.
If we could get to this middle saddle and sit and then communicate with you, Lane, I think that, if we could do that by 1 o'clock this afternoon, in the meantime, let's get up on the other side of this and see if we got any easy goats to kill. We are gonna separate. Brian is gonna bail off and look underneath these cliffs. And he's gonna also take that opportunity to look over the back side of this ridge. And we'll get up and wait. It's a beautiful place to be for the rest of the day. These goats have been in and out of these cliffs. We got Dustin coming up and Jordan. They can be glassing from the other side. I think it's the smartest plan.
We're spotting for the guys right now. We got some goats out here. Trev and Lane are on top, and Brian's getting in position on another billy they found. So we're just hanging out, trying to help them as best we can.
Jordan, you got a copy?
Yeah, Brian, go ahead.
I don't know if you've seen him yet, but...
Yeah, I just started looking over there. I haven't seen him yet, but I'll let you know. We have a good billy spotted. We have Brian on the far side and Trev and Lane on the near side, and they're both kind of working their way down towards them. And Brian, you might be able to circle around the back side of this.
I got a lot of ground to cover, so I'll get started, but you're just going to have to keep tabs on for a while. We'll both slowly work in and get in position, just working kind of slow. I don't want to spook them.
I'm on him.
I heard him shoot.
Today Brian had an opportunity. We were able to talk him in on a bedded billy. Man, he just clipped a limb. I feel as if we're just beginning to understand how to hunt these critters. I don't think there's a piece of my body that doesn't hurt, and I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it. My spirits are still high. This is a tough hunt, and it's not just physically tough, because I can handle being miserable. It's mentally tough. I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning a lot about my crew, my team, and they have just been awesome. We're gonna get it done. I don't know how we're gonna get it done. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I feel confident we can get it done. And getting it done might not mean a goat on the ground. The adventure will be caught on camera, and we will share that with you, because that's what it's about. We want you to feel what we feel, and the passion we have for hunting isn't in the killing, it's in the adventure. So I'm gonna hit the hay, get ready, and take the fight till tomorrow.
It's pretty bad now, because even my good buddy says I smell. He's suggesting, you know, Trev, maybe you ought to go get a shower before you start into this next week.
Be a good hunting strategy.
It'd be a good hunting strategy. Apparently I'm so bad that the gag reflex of all the camera guys, and of course Brian too, is now, you know, they're trying to keep the limited amount of food down.
That's why we let you walk so far ahead of us. Preparing for this hunt, I did a lot of research and talked to a lot of guys that have hunted it before, and they told me a couple things about it. It's an extremely difficult hunt. Bring a lot of arrows and sight in your bow for a long ways. And you need to maximize your abilities as a hunter to make the best of your opportunities out here, but at the same time, you have an ethical responsibility to that animal. What a long-range shooting coach once told me, he said that you need to be surprised if you missed. You need to go into that shot with the utmost confidence. And rather than trying to give me a number of how far I should shoot an animal, he said, you know what, if you are completely surprised that you missed after a shot, then you did the right thing. If you're taking a shot hoping that it's gonna work, then you're not. You shouldn't have taken that shot. If I was to draw this tag again, I would come down probably 2-3 days early. You need to be able to know where you're going in the dark. And in that couple days early is going to give you the benefit of glassing and finding where there's ibex and give you multiple options.
Brian Reed, we met on this mountain. Bow hunting in general is a niche of good guys.
It is.
And women, good men and women.
It's a brotherhood,
yeah.
You know, women included.
Yeah.
But it really is.
Well, this is where, unfortunately, we part ways. Brian's got a rental car to take back and a plane to catch, and your 9 days is done.
Yep.
I think you left it all on the mountain, though, buddy.
I did.
As I look at the structure of the Florida mountains, and literally this small 15 by 5 mile range jutting straight up out of the desert floor, it's perfect for ibex. As you watch them run on rock faces of a cliff, run like it's flat ground. It's amazing. The history of the ibex being brought in is another story in and of itself. In December of 1970, the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish released 15 Bezoar, or Persian ibex, into an obscure mountain range on the Mexican border called the Floridas. This 15 by 5 mile rocky outcrop tops out at 7,400 feet, climbing 2,500 vertical feet from the desert floor below on the outskirts of Deming, New Mexico. Over the next few months, a total of 73 ibex were transplanted in the Floridas. This rugged ecosystem contains some of the steepest terrain in the lower 48, a perfect microcosm for these goats to flourish in. The Florida ibex have aptly earned the title as the toughest animal to harvest in North America, with the lowest success ratio of any North American big game animal. It seems like everything wants a little piece of you, whether it be some skin or some blood. It scratches you, bites you, or scrapes you. The stories I heard growing up of Pancho Villa, the border bandits, Geronimo, the marauding Indian tribes that would, the war parties that would use this country for hideouts. I think you have some really rich history in southern New Mexico. Starting in where I grew up in Las Cruces, you've got Pat Garrett being the sheriff there where he was gunned down. Billy the Kid spent a lot of time in the Las Cruces, New Mexico area. You've got all of that Western folklore. You move over to Deming, and there's some history there. You've got some of the first wineries. I know California thinks they were the first wineries, but the monks actually brought up grapes to the Deming area, to southern New Mexico, to start wineries even before California started wineries. The history in these very mountains. People find old Spanish sword hilts that are broken and Spanish rowels from old Spanish spurs. They were in these very mountains. It just boggles my mind why they wouldn't walk around them. But you're finding stuff. It's like a snapshot of 100 to 200 years ago.
I've been here since 1978. Oh, I've been all through that mountain and then some. I think it's brutal myself, but there are a few roads you can take up to the top. But, you know, they got washed out through the years also. You know, I used to have the world record Ibex here for about 3 years. You know, there's some treasures up there, and I know a lot of people looking for them. You know, you got a brass cannon, which a couple of people have found. There's gold up there. There was a manganese. Then, you know, you got a lot of artifacts, you know, metates and manos. And then, you know, there's old stories from people, you know, through the years, you know, found swords, right? You know, old Spanish sabers and stuff like that, which I've seen. And then you go on the other side of the mountain. A good friend of mine, his grandfather found a Spanish stirrup, and that's why it's called the Spanish Stirrup Road. Like right over that ridge, supposedly somebody told me Billy the Kid's gang, the rest of them were killed right up there, about 2 or 3 of them.
And then compound it with the rugged beauty of an ibex, there's nothing like it.
My name's Ben Blake. I'm from Alaska. I'm down here helping with the ibex hunt. I like to come down here once in a while and get out of the cold weather. This ibex hunting is not for everybody. It's something you better be in shape for if you're going to do this type of hunting. The percentages of killing one of these ibex with a bow is so small that most people don't realize how tough it is until you've done it a few times. I think mountain goats are perhaps a little bit easier. I don't think they're as alert as these ibex are. I guess the funniest thing is how close you can get to these animals sometimes and you still can't get one. How you think you have them trapped and cornered and they go up places that you just think there's no way an animal can climb up that. And no matter how many times you've seen it, when you actually go on the mountain and watch these animals move, it's quite a surprise. So I've been at 14 or 15 yards from them, still not been able to hit them with a bow. It's just, they can jump higher and move faster than anything I've ever been around.
I've hunted lots of places, and I've never seen anything that has the nostalgia, the adventure, and the pure difficulty and adrenaline that is this captured in a New Mexico Ibex hunt. It makes a young boy daydream. So for me, being in these mountains, it's pretty special. I've had a lot of time to glass from these high peaks, and as I look through my spotting scope, I'll see a dust trail in the desert below, and 95% of the time it's Homeland Security or Border Patrol. If you spend any time up here, you're gonna see the blimps, you're gonna see guys on horseback, you're gonna see guys on foot, four-wheelers. It's not unusual to see these guys fighting the fight in the desert below, protecting us from the gun runners, the human traffickers that bring people out and leave them for dead, unfortunately. They save lives. And you've got drugs. These things are the battle they fight every day.
Blood red in the setting sun. The marijuana and the cocaine highway. The federales couldn't keep it clean.
I think basically right now what you have is you don't have the people actually coming over here to go to work. Now you have more of the drugs trying to get over here. It's a big difference from years back. You know, years back people used to come in and, you know, hey, can I have some day work? And, you know, there was no problem. Yeah, sure, you know, chop some weeds or, you know, give them something to eat. You know, they would make enough money and go home and take care of their families and then come back and work again. But it's not like that anymore.
There's a whole lot of holes in sweet water.
You gotta take hats off to, because they're fighting this fight on this border. And it's neat to be up looking down on them and be proud of what they're doing. I could have shot, just waiting. It's alright. Dang it. I don't know what to do. Now I'm starting to get a little discouraged. It's probably the first time I'm starting to feel discouraged. Part of me says to quit being such a panty waste and freaking toughen up and keep at it. The other part of me tells me to back off, get out of here, take a shower, get my clothes clean, take a second, take a breath, and come back at it hard, but I don't know what to do. This is tough.
Everybody wants to live and never die. Everybody wants to be immortalized. Ooh, ooh. Everybody wants to outlive their lives. Everybody wants to be immortalized. Ooh, ooh.
Discouraging. No whining in ibex hunting. I brought probably 18 arrows. Ask me how many arrows I flung. Silcho.
Stars that won't burn out. We all want to go down as icons in someone else's eyes. Everybody wants to live and never die. Everybody wants to be immortalized.
If it wasn't for bad luck, we wouldn't have any luck at all. Winds 30 mile an hour. We got on some goats. Everything goes wrong. They get on this dome. They're supposed to come around, according to everything I've heard. They only come off right here, so we set up. Goats are gone. Nowhere to be seen. Went off the backside somewhere. So then we get radioed that there's goats everywhere over here, right where we were. So we start to go over there. I walk around a corner, and a nanny pops her head around 10 feet from me. 10 feet from me.
Everybody wants to outlive their lives. Everybody wants to be immortalized.
I don't know. That's all I got.
Never gonna die, never gonna die. Oh, immortalized, immortalized, immortalized. Oh, never gonna die, never gonna die. Oh, immortalized, immortalized.
A little update. Jade woke up about midnight with really bad stomach pains. It's not getting any better, so I actually called a friend of mine from Fort Collins who's a PA and
had her talk to Jade, and we talked through a bunch of symptoms. And so basically it's kind of like, is it appendicitis or is it kidney stones? And kidney stones, as if you've had them, you know they're extremely painful, but they're non-lethal. Appendicitis, on the other hand, is a totally different story. So Bill is taking him down the mountain. Dad's coming with the truck to meet him, and I just found out that they have a flat on the truck, so they're fixing the flat, which probably isn't going to make a huge bit of difference. I think they'll still get out there in time.
So Lane got a call from Trevon this morning. It was about 3 o'clock, and Jade is in some serious pain. Came out, Lane and Joel were going to go get them, and came out to a flat tire, so we just got that changed, and now they're going to get in the vehicle and I guess go wait for them to come down the hill and then take them to the hospital. So hopefully everything's okay. We'll see here in a little bit.
I'm in some of the worst pain in my life. Woke up midnight, 1 in the morning. Just thought it was stomach cramps. I hope it still is, but I don't know how long it's been, but I've been in excruciating pain and trying to go to the bathroom. I did throw up, and we think it might be appendicitis or a kidney stone, but either way, I'm useless up here. So that's all.
It's not the type of country you want to take a risk in, because we'd have to have a helicopter come get him. Bill Pemberton walked him down. I was able to get a hold of my little sister, and she woke my dad up, and they got the truck and came around and met him. Makes you think. All of this is great fun, but it's not worth dying for. I did get a text back saying that they do think it's just kidney stones, but if you've had kidney stones, and I have never had kidney stones, thank the Lord, but I have seen guys that have. They're brutal. Imagine having those at 3 in the morning. Then imagine having those at 3 in the morning when you're 2 hours walk through some of the roughest country in North America out to get picked up. And that's what the boys had to do last night.
Got back from the hospital a little while ago, diagnosed with kidney stone. They gave me some good meds, a nice little catcher's mitt for a little guy. The last thing I thought I would have had to encounter on the Florida mountains, the rock. After dealing with cactus, the terrain, weather, just the elements, what gets me is a kidney stone. But I'll tell you, it is the most painful experience of my life. Ibex are not like nothing else I've ever hunted. I hunted mountain goat, just Rocky Mountain goats in Idaho, my home state. That was tough, but these goats are from another world. They have eyes like an eagle, and they're spookier than a whitetail, and they spot you from miles away and are gone. So if you aren't the ultimate stealth or strategist, it's gonna just take pure luck, and I think it's gonna take a combination of all three.
My spirits are still high. People come first. That's and the guys on my team come first.
A lot of things are rolling through my mind now as we head up the hill for the last time. And if we forget why we do this, if we forget the way it makes us feel, then we need to quit. We need to go do something else. I've been even encouraged many times by some of the people on some of the social media side stuff just to put the cameras away and go kill an ibex. That's not what it's about. It's for me to be able to share this with you, and you're never tired, you're never cold, you're never thirsty, but yet you still get the sense of what I'm feeling up in this majestic, rugged country, chasing these amazing creatures. So up the hill one more time. If we aren't successful, we're gonna walk down this mountain with our head held high and hope you get a grasp of what it is to hunt the rock.
I don't want to be standing here talking as I am about what shoulda, coulda, or would have happened had I done this. But we come to today with mixed emotions, with a sense of relief and a sense of disappointment. And I came into this hunt knowing that odds were 1.5%. I came into this hunt expecting to be miserable, and I was. I came into this hunt expecting it to be tough, tougher than any hunt I'd ever been on. But I had no idea. I had no idea the quarry I was up against. I had no idea what an regal adversary these ibex are. From the first day when we got in and we're glassing these ibex on a far off hill, I mean, they're 1,000. I couldn't hit them with a rifle even if I was a good rifle shot. And they run. I did everything, as I look back, I wanted to do. I wanted to push myself. I believe I pushed the camera guys. Luckily, we had some awesome guys that could jump in and take up slack. We just became a team, even more so than we have been in the past. I had really one opportunity, and there was a miscommunication between me and a cameraman. I thought because of that no big deal, okay, it's just like an elk hunting or mule deer hunting. We always talk about, okay, well, let's go get the next one. Well, the difference between mule deer hunting and elk hunting is a lot of times when you're hunting for those, you can just work harder, get up earlier, you can pack in deeper. The ibex, it's not that way. You have to be smart. And you have to be lucky. I feel like I left it on the mountain. A lot of people will look at this and say, well, you weren't successful. If you say that, you hadn't been on the rock. Because this is the hardest hunt I've ever been on. And the most fulfilling hunt I've ever been on. And I don't have any blood on my hands. And if you don't understand that, then you need to experience something like this. The Floridas means the sea of flowers. And I guess in the springtime, it's just lit up with some of the wildflowers. But this is January, and it's gorgeous, and it's dangerous, and it's rough, and it's rugged, and it's beautiful. We came to understand why they call this the Rock. It's what they called Alcatraz, only we didn't want to leave. Toughest hunt I've ever loved.